What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, according to what I'm being told, the plans for a ring return for former unified three-belt WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., who has 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, as he moves up in weight after suffering the first loss of his career and being out the ring for 2 years. Errol Spence, he showed that on his social media. He was training and he said, "I'm not unalived," right? He said DEAD, "I'm not unalived," right? "I'm here and I'm coming back." So according to what I'm being told, the plans for Errol Spence after suffering his first loss to the pound for pound king, Terrence Bud Crawford, is for Errol Spence to face the winner of the showdown that's going to take place October 25th. The former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman and the towering Inferno, the WBC former unified junior middleweight and reigning WBC junior middleweight Sebastian Fundora. That's going to take place October 25th. Now, this is no surprise that the premier boxing champion, better known as the PBC, is trying to push for this fight between Errol Spence and the winner of either guy, because when Sebastian Fundora beat Tim Tszyu as the underdog and became the unified WBC WBO junior middleweight champion back in March of 2024, Errol Spence got in the ring with Sebastian Fundora, and they was looking to make a fight with Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora then. But there's a bunch of different people saying a bunch of different things, right? Some people said that Errol Spence wasn't ready, according to Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora says, otherwise, right? It's a bunch of confusion when it comes to that. With that said, the fight that the PBC really wants to make now is Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, right? This is the last of their two biggest names and their two biggest stars. Now, they want to build up Sebastian Fundora, but they really want to make Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. They've been wanting to make that fight for years. Keith Thurman was the one dragging his feet. So if Keith Thurman wins, he'll be the WBC junior middleweight champion. I don't know if the WBC will enforce his mandatory or they'll allow Keith Thurman to have a voluntary defense against Errol Spence Jr. With that said, this all boils down to Errol Spence, though, right? His return is highly anticipated. The entire boxing world is anticipating seeing Errol Spence step back in the ring. Truly, the sport of boxing needs Errol Spence back in the sport. Errol Spence doesn't do tune-ups, right? I would prefer to see Errol Spence just get his feet back under him, right? Get it back in the win column, get some tune-ups, get warmed up, get acclimated to 154, get his body back, ready for the sport of boxing. That's what I would like to see from Errol Spence. But we know Errol Spence don't do tune-ups, right? His mantra is strap season. He don't do tune-ups. He likes to, go right into the biggest names and the biggest fights. Errol Spence has been rumored and linked to so many different fighters and so many different dates and returns. It's not even funny. Yet he hasn't accomplished any of those. He hasn't achieved. We haven't seen him in the ring in 2 years. So, I mean, it's going to break the internet and the sport of boxing when Errol Spence truly announces his return, especially if he comes back against the winner, Sebastian Fundora, Keith Thurman. Either which guy is a big fight for Errol Spence and a big comeback and a big risk. So, I mean, we got to see how this unfolds and plays out. Errol Spence still hasn't announced who his new trainer is going to be. Errol Spence parted ways with well-renowned trainer, future Hall of Famer, multi-time trainer of the year, Derrick James. So we got to see who's his new trainer going to be, right? What's his new strategy going to be? Me personally, I would like to see Errol Spence get with Coach Kevin Cunningham. That's the move I think Errol Spence should make. Get out of Texas, get down to Florida, get out your comfort zone, bring your strength and conditioning coach with you, Blu-ray Fitness, go to Florida, with Coach Cunningham. He's an expert and a specialist with southpaws. That's the move that should be made. If you ask me, that's the move that should be made. He should be with Coach Cunningham in Florida. Javonte Tank Davis looked his absolute best, in my opinion, when he was with Coach Cunningham. He had Devin Alexander, Corey Spinks, Erickson Lubin. That's the move I think that should be made for Errol Spence. A southpaw specialist that's fundamentally able to teach the game, a student of the game, no nonsense. He ain't gonna take no nonsense and no half stepping. That's who Errol Spence needs to be with, in my opinion. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. But what y'all think? Who y'all want to see Errol Spence fight? Let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.